A child of Omen, a child of silence, a child of innocence, a child of Omen, soon to be a man. Imagine a dark room with iron bars, window through which the sun shone, cleaned by a witch's broom. A solitary cell of a bed of straw and a writing desk, an occasional cockroach and a rat for a pest. Old tomes of grey books, yellow pergaments and griffin feathers for a pen. This was this young child's cradle, this was his residence, his den. He was a stout one, always silent like a spider weaving his net. This is where curiosity and knowledge met. He listened and learned, read and wrote. His teachers were warlocks. His head was full of curses beneath his dreadlocks. His trainers were mages. They taught him spells of elemental rages. His masters were necromancers. They let him glance at the underworld and commune with the spirits of the dead, entwining the ghost of a summoner into his young heart, until he himself became totally attuned to the wind that shakes the curtain in the night, to the howling of the wolves by the moonlight, to the silent cries of desperation, only heard by those who knew the meaning of silence, and those who knew the abolishment of violence, the loneliness of being alone forever. He was blind to the light and numb to the day, an eternal soul only awake by night, never longing for the light. For he could make his eyes shine with pale, blind light, or red fire like blood, when he was anxious or disturbed. The hell of his eyes and the marble white skin, black hair like tar, never wondering how far is the next hour or moment. For sleepless nights are a stillness in time. He devoured wisdom like a swine. His appetite was noticed and noted, and he gave much promise in the order of the wizards that took care of him, and also feared they did, for this silent child of night was one that held secret power that most of them longed for, but never earned it. He was born with it, and so he learned to control it. Every full moon he shapeshifted into a werewolf, unwillingly attacking friend or foe. The bloodlust was so great that they had to imprison him for the day until he changed his state. A little werewolf is but a dog, and a mean dog's punishment is being beaten by sticks and tied by a chain around his neck and put behind walls of bricks. But he remembered everything, especially waking up with a collar in a wet cell, with dead rats around him torn asunder. honor and eternal life. He grew vampire's teeth, but he did not lust for blood like vampires do. Though his hunger was twice as deep for food, he could withstand, and so he withstood. He kept his hunger at bay, his animal instincts to a halt. He was taught by the wisest among the old. As he grew, so did his powers. His body was marked by a new tattoo of a symbol, a glyph, or a rune, to entrap the evil that emerges with every passing winter. Soon his body was all in markings save his face, markings that shone red with boiling blood whenever his anger was provoked. Also trinkets and charms were made to hold back his arcane magic that came natural to him. A medallion of a silver wolf head hanged on a chain about his neck, a golden ring coiled like a snake on his index finger, for he could turn his 10 fingers to 10 long vipers, and braces of steel on his hands and ankles, for he could rapidly grow raven's claws if he only willed it. These entrapments of his power did not block his nature fully, for all he needed to do is but to touch his trinkets and ornaments and speak the words in the tongue of making, for those words were spells of binding in order to unleash the beast within, and were kept secret by his masters for his own sake. Although he kept his humanity safe for the wizards of the ivory towers, he came of age when he was a child no more, and all the masters of the arts gathered by the shore and proclaimed his manhood and mastery of the arts of magic at the same hour. For he could not only move with agility unseen, he could think twice as fast, and when they saw him speak with animals of the forest, they feared him even more. For not even the druids could do that. The druids were now medicine makers, and they saw him summon rain for the farmers, like the shamans of ancient times used to invoke the sky to open or close. He smoked a green pipe with the finest leaf, and fell into long lethargies and long deep sleep. But he was not a child of the purple lotus that took the mind of those who enjoyed it. Dressed in black silk robe underneath his bare tattooed torso, he bare the staff with carvings that was a present from his guild, and a long sword at his hip, with a red jewel at the tip. A wand that the elementalists, like him, could turn to a fire blade, given to him by the order on the day of his manhood and mastery. All was well, and he vowed never to abuse his power, and chose the life of a scholar, a life behind old leather-bound books and short trips in nature, celebrating the life of a man of power. But fate, it seems, had other plans.